Sustainability is an incredibly wide open field, and I guess we're only discussing sustainability in architecture and urbanism in this context, I presume. No? Yes.
Well, any field.
I mean, I guess let's put it like that. The way we've been trying to make more sustainable architecture in the past and in our current practice is to do with two things. One is with the attempt to economize on natural resources. In other words, try and reduce energy consumption of buildings and kind of think of embedded energy and choice of materials and so on and so forth. And the other kind of line of thought is in a way to kind of try and make an architecture which will be sustained due to its architectural qualities, i.e. Try and create buildings which are flexible and adaptable for the future, but also kind of try and create buildings which have character, which have a kind of aesthetic quality, which have a sort of architectural charisma, if you like, so that future generations will be drawn to keep them, to protect them, to kind of care for them, and somehow take them into newer generations and newer kind of versions of their own self, if you like. Okay, so can citizens do more? So of course, citizens can do more. Of course, everybody can reduce the consumption of resources by their consumer behavior, driving the right type of car, not driving a car at all. Whatever your house is like. I mean, whether you have enormous heating or cooling bills, all of these things have maybe kind of minimal impact as far as the individual is concerned, but if you accumulate it by the millions of people who live on the globe, obviously that's going to make a big difference. So yes, most positively, sustainability will be achieved through the contribution of a multitude of minimal acts, if you like. And then the next question, can politicians do more? Yes, again, positive yes. Obviously through taxation you can direct people's behavior quite efficiently, and I think some of this is being done already. You can reward or you can punish behavior which is not very efficient with energy and so on. So I mean, it's rather late in the day already, and one still wishes that politicians would be doing more, but I think it's slowly kind of becoming a mainstream concern. And how can sustainability be communicated? Well, that's more difficult, I think, because we're really talking about a change of attitude, a change of behavior, change of conventions and behavioral patterns. And I mean, there's a lot of rhetoric at the moment in advertising, in media, and so on and so forth, which in the end has maybe some effect, but I'm not sure whether it really has the kind of effect that one would really desire or wish for. So as far as architecture is concerned, I mean, I think that in a way the new generation of buildings has to be noticeably different. I mean, I think it's not enough to say, design buildings as we always have designed buildings and just put a kind of heat exchange system, a geothermal or something, heat pump or something like that into it. But I think there's got to be a noticeable change in attitude, and how exactly that's going to happen, how exactly that's being communicated, I think is the task of this and future generations of architecture, architects to work this out, to kind of find a design language, find an architectural language which somehow brings across this kind of new paradigm. We're trying this in our projects to some degree, and we've spent a great deal thinking about spaces and buildings which are somehow addressing the senses, which are somehow addressing people as kind of sensual beings, in other words, kind of addresses their kind of being as a person or as a kind of body, if you like, in a space, more than just functional concerns or quantitative concerns in general. But that's just the beginning, and there's sort of several strains of thinking in this field, and I guess it's an exciting time for architects because there's something in the making which we don't quite know what it's going to be. And what's my message? I've got a cold.